All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another sample community stand-up. Coach, this is the message that Meetup keeps telling me. I would like you to be using Meetup 6 now. Pretty likely based on past. We have been doing this for a while now, couple years. We have a lot of events. I think that we have several of them. And really excited about this community, really excited. I think that it was 64 events once a month. So there are 64 months. That's a lot. I'm really excited about the journey that when we started this Afro community stand up. I'm really proud of the community that we have built. I was actually telling Hoche today for just a little bit that today we got the Microsoft AI MVP, and it's thanks to the community that we have, to the framework that we have, and everything that we're able to do. SAF and AI, like, it's a really good, powerful formula. So I'm really excited. Without more reminiscence, I want to go to the 25.1 release today. That one is really good. And I don't know if I start recording, so let me just, yeah, I did. So we have a lot of things to cover. We have been waiting for this release for a little bit, and finally it's out. It's out. It has a lot of things. Entity framework developers will love it because right now you can start doing your schema updates right on your debug without having to do migrations. And if we can take a look, there are a lot of things that we will be showing, covering, discussing. Like we did, I just want to mention also we did a couple talks this week, and Zoom and Visual Studio lately don't want to like work together. So if you see that we stop sharing just to let the project run and then show the code and then show the UI, we might have to do that because I don't know why, it's slowing down the debugger a lot. So as always, Hocha, you wanna introduce yourself and then I'll get started, and then we just pick and choose. You choose one of the new features, I choose the other one, and so
Okay.
on. I also see a lot of familiar faces on the attendees and on the chat. I'm really uh, happy to have you all of guys here with us. Uh, I see Dave. He's another Dev Express MVP. Dave, if you wanna talk or if you wanna join us, just let us know. We're happy to put you in the camera. In this new version of Zoom, you have a Q&A section. Please put your questions, and we'll go from there.
Well, so hi everyone. My name is Coach Ojeda. I've been doing SAF forever. I'm a Microsoft MVP, Dev Express MVP, and new AI MVP. So that sounds good. Yeah. So today we have some demos for you, and some of the things that are not related to the new version, but that we want to show because they are interesting, especially on the entity framework side. So. Okay, Javier, I will start with an easy one, and let's do like one on one. So let's see. The first one that I'm going to show right now is not in any specific order. It's just in the order that I did them. So let's see. Am I sharing the screen because I don't? Oh, here, yes. Are you seeing the studio? Is the screen that
Yes,
I'm showing?
yes.
Yeah. Okay. So the first one that I'm going to show is related to entity framework. I'm going to show two things at once. First is that now there is like automatic schema update, exactly like. So this for me is a big deal because I don't like migrations. I really don't. I'm so used to XPO creating the schema and like updating the schema every time that I will not use entity framework because of that, right? Because it was not automatic. There were many ways to handle this automatic schema creation, but JP shows many ways to do that before. So, but in this case, what I want to show is like, okay, I have this customer class with the name property, and that's it. That's the only property that is there. So right now here I have the application running, and there is only one property. So what I'm going to do is just add another property. Of course, this is super easy to show. So this will be last name. And by the magic of Developer Express, let's run this, and this will update the schema and everything. So it looks like a really simple thing to show, but it's a big deal for me, especially if coming from XPO. If you want to use the framework, I used to delete the database for my demo applications and create them again, but now it's like it's working, it's updating the schema accordingly. So let's see if Zoom is good with us and let us because it's supposed to be loading already, but let's wait a second. There you go. So now without any needs of migration, I will have the property there and I will be able to save, not a problem. So let's see. So see, I have the two properties now, and let's add, in this case, I'm going to add my brother. Arrojeda, let's save it, and it's in the database. So far so good. The magic is done. It's like, when it's so magical, you actually don't even notice. So this is like true magic. Okay, this is one of the things that automatic schema update is a big deal if you come from XPO. Um, the next one that I'm going to show is the same solution, and I'm going to show the code first. This one I really like it too. It's like looks beautiful. Is there are a few ways to handle concurrency in XPO, right? But in there are the same schemas already exist also on the entity framework side. And now you have this option, like what you will do when you have a collision. And there are two options, or three options, I think.
Hey, Jose, before
Mhm.
we move, I just want to address a comment from Jean Paul, that basically this, and we haven't actually tested, we're just going through all the 25.1, but Jean P is mentioning that the auto schema update is removing the columns from the table when you remove the property from your class. So
That's an
that's
interesting one because actually XPO doesn't do that, but that's
that.
we need to check
I,
that.
I believe that that's dangerous. You should not
Really
do that. You
dangerous.
should not. But well, we will test that as well, and we
Mhm.
see. I think that we should report that to the Dev Express team so they can do something about it.
I mean, it's good to have it if you know how to use it. I mean, if you have a like really sharp knife, if it can be useful, right? But it should be an option to like, hey, don't delete the columns. Okay, so this one is about how you will handle the collisions. And in this case, I'm using none because I want to show the screen like that as you want to do. If you say merge, it will merge the values. If you ignore, it will be discarding the values. And if you reload, you will get the last version before you edit it again. So in this case, my class has none. So we have just create, well, we can use this. So in here, you have just my name. I'm going to do last name here in the same property just for now, for the time being. And I'm going to copy this and open um, another like tab. So we have the same record here. So now I'm going to move my last name to here. That's fine. And I'm going to update this to Hoche and try to save. And see, I got the conflict resolution screen, which I kind of really like. And you have the same options like the options that you have in the enum, but in this case, there is a user action. The user should decide what to do. So I will apply my changes. So this will override the other window. And here, if we reload or refresh, let's do here. It's not reload. Let's do it like with the page. Still not load. That's a strange behavior. We should maybe report that too. Because when I refresh in the other side didn't refresh, but I know that in the database it's like this because I saw it before. So these ones are really neat, especially because you have the UI to decide what to do in general. So if you want, Javier, you can take the next one, and then I will prepare like for the next example.
Let's do that. Let's do that. Let me
I'll stop sharing.
share my screen. All right, Jose, you let me know if there is any questions. But
Yeah,
basically,
I'm checking the.
right. Uh, I definitely will go in order. That way I don't get lost. I know what I presented, I know what I mentioned. So the first thing will be the relative splitter position. I think that if we go to the SAF 21 project, let's run it for just a second. And while that is running, remember that the first version we didn't have a we didn't have list view, detail view mode together. So Dennis created a sample for us where we actually had a dashboard view that has a detail view in one side, a list view in one side, and then we have dependent views that depending of the selection of this, we instantiate the detail view on this other side. Then we have support for the master detail mode, list view, detail view, but the splitter was fixed. So if you want to change the size of the splitter, you have to actually do it in controller. Then we had the possibility to move it, but it was not saving that on the model. Right now, everything is working. So let's give it one more second while that is loading. And you'll see that you will be able to rearrange the splitter position in list view master detail view, and it will actually persist. Give it a second. I also think that my computer and Zoom are not getting along, probably. So hopefully I don't have to run too many. And then I go and show the code, show how it looks, and go from there. And in the same regard, we're gonna show the best fit and the clear sorting. If you guys remember, if we go to the model and even change one of the size of the columns, the grid was not taking the whole space. It was just taking a couple one, and then you have to like basically move it to make sure that it was not responsive. So basically, every time that happened, I just reset the views, remove the columns that I want, and then actually try to make the view responsive. Because when you went to mobile or you went to tablet, if you had moved those columns, that position, it was saving the value and it was not a good solution. Right now, we have best fit that it was not working before. And right, let me, because I think that it did cover it. So the first was the customer split. Okay, let's do this one. All right, so we have right here our list view, detail view. We can see, but the good thing is like if we make it however we want, we close, you see, it will save it. If we open it, still there, we change it to the other side, close it, open it again, and that is being persisted. So that will be the first one. Really nice one. It's a simple one, but I think that is useful. The second one will be the best fit. So if we are here in the customer and you change anything on this in the model, and then that was not taking the whole space. You have a lot of list view that only take one space. That was being a bit annoying. Now we have best fit. That is still based on like what you do, but it does take the whole space. If we go back to our customer list view, and then we move things around. Before it was getting crazy. Right now we have the best fit that I'm not gonna run it again to show you, but it's better. It's respecting what you did in the model, but it's also trying to handle it the best way possible. If we keep going, we also have the clear sorting, and Hoche will show the PDF export. But let's talk about the virtual scrolling mode. Before we have the pagination on all the list view, but if you see now, we have the scroll. And by default, those list view will have virtual scrolling enabled. I think that this is a more modern approach, is what we're used to. Like when we are paginating, you are actually just selecting 20 records and then go to the second page, go to the third page. In this case, every time that you are scrolling, you are looking for data on demand if you have the server mode and so on. So right now you have here. And I used to do that a lot. I used to have a controller that move back to the virtual scrolling. So that's a good improvement there. Let's go to the next one. Banded layout. So I do like the banded layout for WinForms. We used to do it in WinForms. I remember when I did the point of sale for Windows, for a Windows tablet, we did some banded layout to present information. So right here, and in this case, I'm going to have to stop it. There is no other solution. So right here, you go to your bands layout, and then you enable it. Then you create a band, and then you put some properties inside the bands. So right here we have birthday, address, description for the first band, second one name and active. If we run that now, you will see the change on the list view. So that will be the bundle layout approach. That I think that will be really useful when you are doing complex views. So that's definitely one that it was on my wish list. Hoche will present the date for the time property. So I want to present the component for the Blazor control view item. This is a really nice one that you only have to create a Blazor component and point it to the view item that you will add to your detail view, and that's it. It will get the component. I always sometimes that's basically when you need a razor component that is not really tied to the business object. If not, I will do my own property editor or my own view item and just add it. Tooltip, the attribute for tooltip, now you are able to see it. Shortcuts, let's give it a little more, and then we go and see all of these one. These one are really fast. In the meantime, I'm gonna see if I can try to run the chart list editor. So I'm gonna change the port. Let me put it here in another screen. So we save some time. All right, let's give it a second. So one thing by default that you are seeing here is that you can now put in your navigation items, show navigation start false. That way, as soon as the application shows, the control is not presented. So you can show the navigation if you want on start, or you can hide it. That's up to you, and this is as simple as toggling this node on the model. So with the application open, we can see the bundle layout. Yes. You can see here that we have test. We have the first band that will be test with these three properties, the second band that will be test band 2 with the other two properties. Really nice and really useful for a lot of scenarios. The other one, on this case, and let me see if I didn't miss one, bundle layout, is the razor component support and the tooltip attribute. So for that one, let's stop this one and let's run the other project where you can see. Right. Right. So basically, we're going to have a razor component, regular razor component that you can do any markup or any regular Blazor development. Then you will go to your model, and then you will add a control detail item. After you add that, you are able to tell them where to look for your razor component. All right, will be on this folder, Blazor server editors, and this will be my razor component. And come to your layout and add it. So we have done a lot of integration of razor component and property editors and view items, but this is really simple. It's just create your razor component, add it to your detail view, and you're good to go. Let's log in. So 25.1, I think, is making our life really easier for a lot of the tasks that we had to do more development and more code in the past. tooltip, razor component, and shortcuts. That will be the next one. Right. So if you see here, in my model, I add that control detail layout right here. And I pointed to my razor component. And that's it. You have my button here that you can click and you can interact. You have the view, you have the application, you can basically do any functionality with that razor component. In this case, it's a button, but this could be a really complex UI, the markup that you want. It could be a chart, as Google show now with another navigation. So if you think about that, we have done our own list editor with charts, with Gantt, with other scheduler from Syfusion, with Kanban. So, but now it comes out of the box. Right here you have your paycheck class. This is the regular list view. That we just were looking at the Blazor control view item that also have the tooltip attribute. So if we go to the class, we have our tooltip attribute with our gross pay is the pay that you get before taxes, and then you will have it here. We have done is in our channel another tooltip implementation that in the tooltip you can put a link to some documentation. In the tooltip you can put a more like your own control, basically your own flyout, your own. But this is really simple and really fast that you can actually start giving your users some information about your fields. So we have the control view item, we have the tooltip, and now we have the chart view. For the chart view, basically, and we can actually even change here values. To make our chart view change is basically telling, it's as simple as creating our razor component with the DX chart, and with the, we can give them what are the fields that we're gonna be using on the chart, and then on the model, same thing again, making it easy for us. We're gonna tell it, hey, select the chart list editor, and we're gonna tell it what is our component, what is our razor component. With that one, nothing else we have to do. We will have a chart in our application that display the visualization that we need. So real simple, real fast. I think that it's making our life a lot easier. Now, shortcuts. In our new version, now we are able to, if I'm in this view and I click Ctrl-Shift-A, we have the new action. So the data entry is improving, and Blazor is getting closer to like a desktop kind of environment. We have tabs, we have shortcuts. So kudos to the DevExpress team. Let's continue. All right, for this one is basically we are improving the filtering for non-persistent field. So if you have a non-persistent field that is not mapped, or they will actually remove it from the filtering. But if you have persistent alias, calculated attributed, and so on, it will still be there. And it will be smart enough to know, okay, if we have an alias that we can process on the server, we do it there. If not, we're going to detect the criteria and we're going to process it on the client side. So this is a really nice one. So we need to test it a bit more, but it looks really promising. All right, and this one is a little more involved.
Javier, that one is too big. Give me some space, and then you you run that one. I have just small example.
All right, let's do that.
Okay.
That way I can have it running when
Yeah.
I present it. That way it doesn't take too long. Okay, let's do that one.
Okay, so back to my side. I want to show a few things that, well, this we have shown before. I think they're not completely there yet, but for the Visual Studio Code users, which now includes me, lately I've been using mostly Visual Studio Code instead of the full Visual Studio. For a moment, I was, for like 2 years, like when I was in the United States, I was only running Linux. And then I switched to Mac, and now I'm back to Windows. So for me, Visual Studio Code is that tool that I use when when I'm not using a Windows OS. As I understand, because Dennis mentioned this before, this is only for um, Windows OS right now, but I guess it will eventually move to all the other like Mac OS and Linux, which is the template kit. There are a few beautiful things in the template kit, but for me, just to be able to do SAF application in Visual Studio in any of the computers and any ID is a unified experience is also a big deal. Before I used to have a template, I did a nugget, I published that, and I have my own template. But now it seems that the Express is unifying the experience. They want to have the same experience in all the OSs and all the IDEs. There is also CLIs for this, but the CLI I have not tested so much, to be honest. But this is how uh, the template kit looks for Visual Studio Code. In this case, I'm using Insiders because CUC is green, but the same will go for normal Visual Studio Code. You type demo. Let's go here. Um, this one, let's do demo 2. Let's create this. Have like this instead of the wizard that you get from Visual Studio, you get this one. And in Visual Studio, the normal version, you also have the same. You can install the template kit extension and you will get this. And since this is a SAF community stand-up, let's do some SAF things, or let's create a SAF solution. Here, this is kind of really nice. You can switch the target framework. In here, we have the long term and the short term. And I guess soon we will have 10 there too. So like in November, I guess. Then you can switch between ORM implementations like EF Core and should be the default one. But okay, we have like is the EF Core is the default one so far. And this is one of the new changes that it will generate the connection string for you. Before you need to set your connection string and you only have like SQL Server, I remember, or like just two options in here. And then also you have this automatic schema update, like this option, I didn't saw it in the last version, so this is new. And which platforms you want to target. So this is getting better and better and better. Like before there were some specific cases that I reported that you can select two opposite options, but now they fix that too. So let's do this for XPO, let's do this for Postgres. Um, I want the book mode update. We want these two. Standalone, normal like username and password. And I don't want middle tier like in general, but so let's use the CPM. Let's create a new project. So I know that most people use like Visual Studio, the normal version, but the Copilot is way more advanced on Visual Studio Code and Insiders too. So why not to use it in here, right? So installing the solution. And I just want to show the settings. So see now the connection string is the connection string for your specific database. Of course, you need to fill the username and password and the host name, but it creates it like your specific connection string, not only SQL Server, and then you need to switch or Google how to do the connection string. So this is also kind of a really neat feature for the new people coming into SAF. So that's one. This also looks the same in Visual Studio, but I don't have the extension there. So the next one that I want to show is
Oye,
yeah.
I don't know if you have it installed, but now that you are in the template kit, can you try the Maui one
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
just
It
to
should be the
show?
same.
Don't even
So
you don't have You don't even have to go all the way through, but I like to show all the choices because definitely it,
Yeah,
it blew my mind when I saw it. I think that is a
very
really
cool.
nice tool for everyone who is doing mobile apps. And now that we're doing a lot of Blazor optimize, I think that we have forgotten a little bit of all the hassle that is creating a complete mobile app. And we are working now currently on two of them. And we are not in the point to go back and start it from beginning again. But I saw this couple of weeks. Oh, and I don't know, I think that is really beautiful starting point.
Yeah, let's do that one. So the folder, this will be holy. Yeah, actually, like remember that we have this discussion before in the with the guys in the office. So this one, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see
All
what
right.
we
So
want.
if you want, I can mention it because I'm excited about this.
Yeah. I
So
mean,
if you see,
just guide me through whatever
yeah.
I need to pick.
Yeah, if you see Hoche just did new Maui project. That's it. So
Mhm.
choosing the template from Developer Express, the template kit. And now, without doing anything, we have the choice to do target platform, Android, iOS, of course. And we have, okay, do one fly out. And if you see Hoche, is the hamburger menu to the left. If you do tab,
Mhm.
you have below your menu, it will be on the bottom, and you have
Mhm.
home, settings, and so on. And none if you're going to start from scratch. We don't want to do that. Basically, we want to go and take advantage of that one. Let's say that you select flyout,
Mhm.
and you can actually put your nugget feed there. So you are good to go there. You just put your nugget feed and continue developing. You click next. You don't have to put it now, but and then look at this. I remember also how we decided what will be the best pattern, how we're going to structure our app. Okay, we're going to do this folder to for MVVM. We're going to do so. Right now you have MVVM, so it will create your dependency injection with sample data. It will do everything as best practice. You will have CRUD for local database. If you're going to use SQLite, forget about the remote database now. You have your repository, your unit of work. You will have everything you need to interact with your remote, with your local database, with SQLite. You want remote database? Okay, let's set up the web API service for you so you can connect to your remote database and then you are secure. That way you are not exposing any information. You want reporting? Okay, well, let's include the reporting functionality so you have it. You want Office document processing? Let's do authentication for the last one. Let's use the Office file API so you can start using it, whatever you need in your app. Maybe you're doing a journal app, as I'm doing with my nephew. Or authentication. You have right here to do authentication role-based, so you will have the ASP.NET Core, so connect to the SAF backend web API service. This is just beautiful. If you are a SAF developer and you are thinking of doing mobile app, this takes a lot of like the guesswork from you. If you click next, Roger, you will love this next one. All right. What screen do you need? What page do you need? What login do you like the most? What list view do you like the most? What detail do you like the most? Do you want this to edit your profile? Do you want to select an avatar? If you keep scrolling down, watching, so you see the other ones. Do you want a
Ooh,
setting page? Do you want a setting page? Do you want a color picker? Do you want a scheduler? Or do you want a chart? It's just mind blowing
yeah,
for me when I was like, I could use this to do really fast apps in our environment. So just want to say that I'm excited about this. Gotcha, you can click create and you will see the whole project created for you. You have everything you need there. I personally will do a few changes, but that's because we have done several mobile apps and we already have our own structure that we like to follow. But at the end, it's really similar. It's really nice. It's really good starting point for anyone
yeah.
that
This is
right.
incredible, to be honest. Like so much boilerplate code that you're saving. So, and like I think it's there for like two versions already. It's not truly new, but it's new for us that we just found it somehow.
Yeah, basically, I get excited about it. This is really nice. All right. Do you have anything? Just you can continue,
Hold on,
Jose.
I
I don't know if you
have
want.
like one more. Like let's see. Um, I will show the PDF one. So let's run this. Let's run this. So basically, right now, you in the controller, you have a controller where you can set the options for. exporting. So that's kind of really neat. For example, in this case, I'm going to export only the selected rows. So, okay, this is the old one. Also, this is the old one. And is this running? No, it's not running. So, and let's wait a little bit to see where the browser goes. So, okay, there you go. I like that they start in dark mode now. Like everything that I have is in dark mode, my phone and everything. So that's cool too.
Yeah, one thing that
So,
we can mention, Jose, one thing that we can
mhm,
mention, I was following the list, what's new, and then,
mhm.
but one thing that you can mention right away is Fluent. If you go there and click the theme selector, you will have Fluent Dark and Fluent Light. I think that
Okay.
it looks really nice. It looks beautiful. I think that they did more than 200 icons, and they are making it for us. Not the best UI developers. They are making a good
Yeah,
selection, good choice right off the box. Of course, we right now with Blazor we can do any UI integration that we need, and we have really good people that take care of that. But I really like the direction that they're going with all this Flume UI thing.
yeah. Out of the box, it looks beautiful. And like 18 years ago, that's why I make a choice to go to SAF because my first boss asked me like, he told me like, your screen sucks. You're really bad doing UI. When I showed the SAF application and it looked like, like at that moment, Office 2007, I think it was, or 97, 2007 or 2003 when they have the ribbon. So the shows like that is like, oh, you got really good doing UI. It's like, no, I'm missing stuff. So, okay, so the one that I wanted to show is I want to export only the selected. So I'm going to select two customers here. And then let's see, export to PDF. I have the PDF here. So let's open it and this is not I have only one selected. So let's do it again. So export to PDF, 1 and 10, and 1 and 10. They are there. So basically you get the event and then you're able to set the options that you want. And I only have one more. We'll go through that already. This one is for the timestamp properties. You can just basically change how you move the caret when you select when you're typing the time. To be honest, this looks kind of the same for me, but I guess I need to test in a different way to show like the real changes. So I just want to show that the event triggers, and depending on the property, the different caret mode, for example. And if you see the description of in runtime doesn't show. In one, something is like the caret is focused on some specific way like this. But the other one is everything is highlighted at the same time. That's kind of like the change. Since I'm not so much into the data entry, especially regarding time, for me it kind of look the same, but the people who works in data entry, they will see the change for them. So it's basically this uh, new event that you can do for the the settings of the property editor. So that is kind of a simple one. And the one that I want to show is also entity framework related. And we've been having like a few meetings with entity framework core customers. This is the same solution that I showed last time. And the idea here is that you want to have like really detailed control on how the data is being loaded. So the idea here is that in the module, you have this setup event. And in the setup event, you can wire the create custom collection source event. And then you will get some information from the event args, like for example, which type is being requested. So in here, if the type that is being requested is blog, if we go and check the type, this has two collections of posts and tags, and post also has another collection, I remember, of comments. So this is three-level collections in general. So basically what we're saying is here, okay, if it's this type, we get the context out of the object space, and you can ignore this query debug helpers just to show it in the console. But what we are executing here is this query. So basically we'll get the three levels in a single trip and write it in the console. So it's like we have this um, eager loaded collection source, which is a class that inherits from collection source, and that when the data is requested, we pass the prefetched data. So this will not create a query, it will get the data that we pass. Maybe you have that data loaded already from another context, from a service or whatever. So basically you're passing the data that is already loaded. In this case, we did it because we want to, in the use case that we were fixing is like, we want to get everything in a single trip. So this will change depending on your use case of how you design your ORM. But the idea is that you can basically um, catch the moment where the collection source is being created and pass your own data. So you have total control on how the data is going to be loaded. So this can also work for XPO too. It's the same idea, right? So I'm going to run this one and show how the query is being created. Oh, this one, I have a problem with the Blazor solution, so I will run the Windows one. So in here, I'm going to show the console so you can see the query that is being created and that I'm basically getting everything at once. Now you're seeing like the normal queries that you see when the data is being loaded and the scheme is being checked and so on. You can ignore that, it's like just for testing. Hold on, where is it? Maybe it's a different screen. No, still loading. Yeah, so Zoom does this for Windows Forms application. So, okay, let's wait a little bit. In a second, it's really long when you're waiting for it, so interesting, doesn't want to load. Still, it's still trying to connect to the data. There you go. Yeah, it's like taking forever. This is super fast, usually when you're not sharing the screen. Okay, so this is the example from the last meetup. And what I'm going to do is put this here and then this here. So here you will see like some queries when I'm loading the comments. But let's see the query that is being created when we go to the blog, which is that the type that I am going to create the custom collection source for it. So if I click here, everything was loaded, and this was the query generated. So as you can see, it loads everything in a single trip, and all the three levels are being loaded. So this is a kind of really neat trick if you want to have really detailed control on how it's being loaded. So this example is public, so you can grab it from my GitHub account. And that's all on my side, I guess, at least related to identity framework. So back to you, Javier.
Let me share my screen.
And we have a full house today. There's a lot of people.
Nice. All right. Let me know, Jose, if you can see my screen.
Still loading.
Mm,
It's still loading.
yeah. Oh, no.
Yeah, it's showing.
Right. Let's talk about .NET Aspire. So if you have seen, .NET Aspire has been having a lot of popularity lately. And Microsoft is pushing to it. David Fowler is pushing to it. Basically, that's a way that they are saying that we can do like in the future production Revit monitor like that you can monitor, that you can basically have telemetry, that you can have your orchestration of everything that is going on. But so basically it's a set of tools and templates for building observable production ready apps. So I'm not gonna go too in depth on the part of .NET Aspire, but basically there are a set of posts that guide you through the whole process. How to set it up, how to make it compatible with XAF, and I think that it will improve in the future. What I want to show, and Jose, let me know because I think that it's frozen a little bit, but I want to make sure that we can see it,
Yeah,
is
I'm believing
that
fine so far.
we will have, so we have in our project, let me just cover that one, a app host project. That's where like basically it will be like a dashboard that it will show us everything that we're running. We have an API project, the weather forecast controller as always, and we have our Blazor server app. And of course we have a database and so on. So the app host will be the one that is actually keeping track of everything that we have. If we go and review, you see that right here we have the SQL server, we have the demo service, right here we have our Blazor server app, and so on. And then we also have what we are putting, we're adding metrics on the telemetry, health checks, service discovery, and so on. So if you see here, we have this really nice dashboard where we have our database, we have our demo service, and we have our Blazor integration. Right here, we can stop it, we can run our app. If you see, we can have our application and it will tell you in what port, and let's give it a second so it loads. But the really interesting part is the visibility that you have of all the services and all the apps that you have working together. You have an orchestration, and let's give it a second. Probably it's also running here. Let's see. I feel like my computer is about to quit on me, but we will not let her. All right. Let's see. Either way, it's running. I don't know why it's failing on that one. We have it here. This is the same app that we're running. So what is interesting about that we have the two apps running is that then we can go to metrics and we can say, okay, let me see how my Blazor app is working. And then you can have a lot of information. You can have your request, duration of request. You can have, if you go to the HTTP, if you go to the .NET runtime, you can have a lot of information of everything that you are doing. We actually were working with an application that we needed to uh, improve the memory consumption, and we were doing some workarounds. So we were actually checking a lot of the memory working set. So right here, you have it right here out of the box. If you have want to see like the connections, if the request, the duration, the handshakes, everything that you need to take a decision about. And you can stop the service, you can run the service, you can see how the demo service is working, how is the donation, the duration, the section, the heap allocation, a lot of things that we still need to like learn more about it. but definitely a good place to start moving. You also have a console to see everything. I put the database, everything that is happening in your application. Traces, same thing. You can start seeing what is going on with each of them, what is duration. You can VA the details, see the logs, so a lot of things. And you can connect all of this with Azure. You can connect all of this with your application inside. So in just one place, when your application is growing and you have several services, several web APIs, you have your Blazor app, you have your database, this will become a really nice tool. I think that for a small project, it's still a overkill because there are a lot of moving parts. But as you grow and grow your project, definitely a solution that like this one will give you a lot of telemetry, a lot of monitoring the app. It will give you a lot of benefits. So when I want to get in deep, I have like 5 videos covering all the steps to integrate Aspire. So we'll be releasing it, but I do believe that is a step on the right direction for where we're going. So we'll keep posting more development in that regard. We already showed the chart control. Mhm. Basically, right now we have the display format, so we have lookups with basically different. If you see, you're gonna say development department 205 building 2. So right now it's taking correctly our display format on lookup property editor. We already show the navigation panel advisability, the navigation panel visibility at the startup. Basically, if you don't want it for devices with less resolution, phones, tablets, you can disable that. We already showed that. Fluent icons and themes. I really like the new, and let's run this in the meantime. Let's stop the other one. Let's stop .NET Aspire. Let's run this one. I really like the Fluent UI theme and icons. If you see here, I think that they say around 200 new icons or something like that. Yeah, specific to SAF, and they expect to ship the Fluent Ribbon UI by the end of this year. So that's really a really nice thing to look forward. HO Entity Framework Core Enhancement. The clone object module is already there for Entity Framework. The database schema updates. We show that. We show the simplified connection string, basically the template kit. The middle tier is also getting a lot of love. As you know, it's basically the middle tier now, the default for Windows app. From the web API, the only thing that I would really want to mention is this batch operation support. We have been wanting that for a while. We had to do some workarounds to make it work. So we actually had it working, and now it's really good to see that DevExpress supported out of the box. So we definitely moved to this implementation. Multi-tenancy, the good thing is right now you don't have to create a new separate object space provider. You are able to use with shared business object and have some type of shared classes like currency, or sometimes there are products that are shared between different locations and so on. So that one definitely is something else to look for. I think the multi-tenancy is getting better and better. And we have several examples of multi-tenancies completely done from scratch. But now more and more it makes sense to start using the module that DevExpress is providing. We have the PDF viewer on CTP. I don't know, Jose, do you have that one?
No.
Right. I can show in a little bit. I just have to play, but we can show a few other ones. We can show, for example, the new built-in property editors, the tag box and the progress bar. So if our application is running, and let's close this, we can see, and let me just go to the code first, that our customer has a collection of invoices. That's it, regular one-to-many. If we go to the model now and we go to our invoice, if we go to our customer little view and we go to our invoices, now we have available the tag box list property editor out of the box. We have done the tag box. We have a repo that we have for property editors. That's one of the one that we reuse a lot. Right now it's coming out of the box. So I put the tag box list property editor for that collection. And if I go now to customer, and my invoices are showing as a tab box. No code on my side, just the regular association. And let's give it a second. Just the regular association, and then you have the tag box property editor at your disposal here. The second one will be a progress bar. In this case, this progress will be for percentage, kind of basically this visualization for integer and floating. So if we go now and we go to our invoice, we have a progress that basically is just same type of an integer here. We go to our model, we go to our invoice, we go to our progress, and then we select the progress bar property editor. In this case, it's 0 because they don't have a value. But if I open, I say progress 15 because this task is just starting. You see how it's going to start changing. And the nice thing is like we're not doing it. It's just regular property integer, and we just select the property editor. So that's other task that we used to have to do the property editor ourselves. It's really nice that right now it's just selecting it and we're good to go. All right, and that will be the end of it. So the data source filtering for enumeration property, as you know before, that was giving issue. Now you can actually use it. So that's good to go. And the PDF viewer, we have several PDF viewer in our site. We have done the Syncfusion one. We have done PDF viewer. I don't remember the other library. We have done a couple of them that even have annotations. You have some, but it's good to see that right now it's still in CDB, but basically you have the PDF viewer editor out of the box for your byte array data properties. All right. I think that we cover all, Jose.
Yeah, another one.
Yeah. So I don't know if there are more questions, but I think that 24.1 is a really good one. It's a good one release. It's one that I will start moving our apps right away. And if, as always, if you guys find something, just let us know. Thanks, JP, for letting us know about the entity framework, deleting the properties on your tables. Also mentioning that Yama-chan released a lot of the new modules. I don't know if they would like to talk about them, show them for a little bit, and that will be all for this month. All right, guys. If you have no any other questions or uh, anything you guys want to add, thanks again. We are really happy today. We got the MVP, so we'll be celebrating for a little bit, and we will be hands-on 24.1 in all our projects as soon as we go back to work. All right, guys. Thanks for watching, and see you next month.